How's everybody doing? Hope you guys had an excellent Christmas and you guys were lavished with all kinds of gifts. I got this jacket. I feel very stylish wearing it. Hey, how you doing? Do you know I can burp on command? How am I still single? But it's like really hot right now, so I'm gonna get comfortable. So this is probably the 18th video you're watching on how to get a YouTube channel started. So I'm gonna try to avoid what everyone else is saying and tell you guys what I did specifically to help me get my channel off the ground, and hopefully some of it can apply to you guys. On the very start of 2017, I had already been making YouTube videos for a few months and I had a whopping 12 subscribers and 1 comment. Literally, only 1 comment. Thanks MilkyWave for making my very first and only comment of 2016 a positive one. Go check out his channel to watch him cause mayhem in his BMW. My New Year's resolution for 2017 was to get from 12 subscribers to 1,000. And honestly, for the first 2 months, I did not think I would be able to hit it because of how slow everything was growing. But I kept at it and things slowly started to turn around. Dude, we're so close to 300 right now. This is German and Gadget, and that is our video featured. 500.
20,000.
And wow, you guys came through. We're just about to reach the end of 2017 and we are just about to hit 25,000 subscribers, which is 24,000 more than my original goal. So holy I'll admit, I got really lucky and some of my videos got way more views than I could have ever anticipated, but you don't need luck to get going. Most creators I know have grown their channel very steadily, didn't necessarily have an explosive video, but they now have a massive following that keeps growing every single day. And I think that's what everyone should aim for because that's something you have control over and you might just catch some luck along the way. So let's get started with things you can start applying right away. Now, when you first start your channel, you're probably gonna be glued to this analytics screen. Try your best to stay away from this as much as possible because staring at the screen for 20 minutes is not going to do you any favors. If you're going to pay attention to one number and one number only, it shouldn't be your views, your subscribers, your likes. It should be how well can you hold your audience. These will appear a few days after you upload your video and watch what people are skipping over, what people pay attention to, etc. I always aim for 70% audience retention. I've honestly never hit it, but I generally land between 50 and 60%, and that signifies a pretty good video. So how do you get good audience retention? Well, step 1, make videos that don't suck. Obvious, right? But easier said than done because most people that make crappy videos don't realize they're making crappy videos. When you're writing, filming, and editing your own videos, it becomes really hard to critique your own work because your perspective is so skewed. For example, one of my favorite movie directors, David Fincher, he says he never gets to enjoy his own work because by the time he's done with it, he's so tired of it. So because of this, being open to constructive criticism is super important. Trust me, being able to differentiate a good video from a bad one is way easier if you're not involved in the process of making it. I'm definitely not saying take every piece of feedback everyone throws at you because everyone has different tastes and opinions that may not line up with yours. But if you can take away one piece of good advice from every single video you do, you'll be killing it. Like killing in a good way. Now, 90% of the time when people ask me to critique a video, the answer is very simple. It needs better editing. Editing is the compliment I get most in my videos, and I attribute a lot of that to my history in editing commercials. Now, when I say better editing, I don't mean you need better software or more graphics or special effects. Commercials typically have to be 30 seconds, not a split second more, not a split second less, and trust me, it is tough to squeeze a lot of content in that 30 seconds. And often it gets to the point where I'm literally taking out a split second here, a split second there, and just really judging every scene and saying, does this need to be here? And when I do finally get it down to 30 seconds, not only is it shorter, but oftentimes it's a lot better. A lot of times on your first edit, everything seems crucial, but when you force yourself to cut some stuff out, a lot of times you realize how unnecessary a lot of these scenes were to tell the story. So here's an example of something you guys can try. Let's say you have a 10-minute video and you're like, okay, this is done. Before you upload it, save that version and then make a new version where you force yourself to cut it down to 5 minutes. Get your mind off it, sleep on it, and come back the next day and watch both videos. Sure, it's sometimes possible that that 10-minute video is necessary to get your point across, but you'll be surprised at how often that 5-minute video just feels so much better and cleaner. A shorter edit does more than just make a video much more bearable to sit through. It makes everything flow better, it pumps more energy into the video, it makes funny things funnier, and trust me, it is why I am bearable to watch because this video is probably like 2 hours worth of footage cut down into however long this video comes out to be. Hopefully it's 10 minutes or longer so I can get a higher ad revenue, and as I just touched the microphone. Like people I know personally are usually surprised when they see my YouTube channel for the first time because they're like, wow, I didn't expect this because you suck at talking. And my answer is always, editing. Another thing to keep in mind is a lesson I took away from this book. I think it was called Save the Cat, but it might have been one of the other screenwriting books that are popular. The lesson was that every movie has to have an arc, which means there's a start, something happens, things change, and there's an end. But that's obvious, right? That's a story. Everybody knows that. But the interesting thing is not only should there be an overall arc, every single scene should have its own arc, which means every scene you should be able to point at it and be able to easily define what's happening in this scene and give it a little miniature arc, and not only an arc in the story but also a character arc. Now, we're definitely not talking about Hollywood movies here, we're talking about YouTube videos, so it doesn't always apply, but something to keep in the back of your head, and it may come into play one day. I don't know why I snapped like that. That's what I do when I start feeling nervous or awkward. So now once you have interesting content and good editing, only thing left is the presentation. Most YouTubers film themselves, and that was my personal biggest hurdle because I am not a comfortable person in front of a camera. Like, I still feel weird after a year to just talk to this inanimate lens piece of glass that's just reflecting my own face back to me. So if you're like me and don't feel comfortable filming yourself, you just kind of have to do it and hope you don't look like an idiot. Now, this next tip is something that I haven't really heard anyone else talk about, so hopefully it's new information to you, and I think this may be one of the best pieces of advice I can give you. Get dislikes and haters. First of all, if you're the type of person that gets easily offended, and if your soul gets crushed every single time someone leaves a mean comment, then I'm gonna do you a favor right here. Get the hell away from YouTube, throw your camera away, go hide in a closet, because I don't care how awesome you are, you will get hate comments. Now, me personally, I aim for 10% in dislikes to like ratio, which means for every 100 likes, I try to get at least 10 dislikes. So let's say I post a video and it doesn't get any dislikes, then I'm usually thinking maybe I should say something racist in my next video. Just kidding, bad example, but here's what I mean. I noticed that most people are super sensitive to negative comments. Like, out of a dozen positive comments, they'll look at that one comment that has something negative to say. And that one comment sticks in the back of their head, and every time they film something in the future, they do everything they can to avoid another one like that happening. The problem with that is that every time you do that, you're adding a filter and you're lowering the amount of authenticity your video has. If you're gonna be that careful, you're gonna be playing in the safe zone the entire time. You're never gonna release anything edgy or fresh just because you're worried that people are gonna think you're stupid or say something mean or whatever. So yeah, go nuts. Be racist. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Like, seriously, all my videos that have gone trending have all had a healthy dose of dislikes. And same with a lot of videos that get millions and millions of views. So don't let the haters control what you're doing. Use that as fuel to just like say, I'm doing the right thing and keep going. I think that might have been my issue when I first started off, is that I would play it so safe, and I've gotten videos that have gotten lots of likes with 0 dislikes, and sure, they do decent at first, but they run out of steam fast and they just kind of just sit and don't really go anywhere. Compared to the videos where not everybody agrees with me, then they leave comments and then people argue in the comment section. It's pretty hilarious. But not all dislikes are the same. Sometimes people dislike a video because you pissed them off or they don't agree with what you're saying. Those are the dislikes you want because they'll watch most of the video and give you a good audience retention. The other reason why people give dislikes is because it's either boring or clickbaity. Those you don't want because they're gonna come give you a dislike and then leaving you with a very short audience retention, and then YouTube's gonna look at that and be like, wow, this video is trash. Let's not show this anywhere. Let's tuck it under the carpet so nobody else sees it. So now that your filmmaking skills are up to par, the next biggest challenge and probably most underrated is motivation. If you're the type of person that has trouble following through on long-term plans, this may be a brutal process for you. Most channels don't get traction right away, which means instead of going out with your friends, taking a nap, or playing hopscotch, you are spending your time making these videos. And yes, making videos is a lot of fun, but it also takes a lot of work. It takes focus, it takes energy, it takes creativity. It took me almost 5 months to get my first 100 subscribers, and it was not an easy process. But trust me, once you get your footing and you get to know your audience, it becomes a whole lot easier because now I can get like 500 subscribers in a single good day. And the big channels get like 10, 20, 30,000 subscribers in a single day. So yeah, it gets a lot easier as you go. Let's say you make a video that you know is good. You put it online, doesn't get any views. Well, don't think of it as a waste of time. I I know it's painful and discouraging, but just know this, if you keep at it, when your channel does grow and does get recognition, a lot of those views are going to trickle back into your old videos, because like all my old videos, they had like no views starting out, but now that I've had some success with later videos, all of them are starting to get some sort of recognition. It also sometimes takes the YouTube algorithm a little bit of time to recognize a good video. I've had videos where I uploaded it, it just completely fizzed out, didn't get any traction, then months later all of a sudden it has a spike and now has like tens and thousands of views. Now there's this big question of quality versus quantity. When I was first starting out, it seemed like everyone was saying quantity, upload all the time and your channel will eventually explode because of the YouTube algorithm or blah, blah, blah. I sort of agree with that, but not completely. My approach is to make the videos as good as I possibly can without being a perfectionist. And if I need to spend a little bit more time on this video, then don't worry about the schedule. Just because you're posting consistently does not guarantee you a following. I've seen channels with over 700 videos and even their new uploads still sit at like 10 views. If you're experiencing something like this, then you're probably not speaking to your audience, so go back and see step 1. On the other hand, my good friend Gio started a channel about cryptocurrencies only 6 months ago. He has 7 videos and already has over 10,000 subscribers. Clearly, he takes the quality approach because he hasn't uploaded a video in over a month and his channel is still gaining hundreds of subscribers every single day. If you're investing or interested in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum, go check out his channel, CRYPTONAUTS. Link in description. And trying to be a perfectionist is probably what stopped me from making this YouTube channel much sooner, because I was sitting around waiting for the perfect idea, which probably will never really come. So with that in mind, I think that having a strict posting schedule is really beneficial because it gives you a deadline. It forces you to come up with an idea and go make the video. Even if it's not a perfect idea, it's the best one you have at that moment in time. If you haven't started your channel yet, give yourself a deadline. For example, 1 week from today, go be free, go start your channel and upload a video. But hold on, finish watching this video first, because I need this good audience retention. If you leave right now, then that's not gonna help me. And if you have a channel, make sure you let me know so I can go snoop around and see what kind of crazy shit you guys are all up to. Let's answer some questions. How did you get your first 100 subs, 500 subs, and 1,000 subs? What changed along the way? Was there anything that gave you a significant boost? Like I said, the first 100 subscribers is gonna be your biggest struggle. I just made a bunch of different videos and saw what stuck. Once you hit 1,000 subscribers, you generally get an idea of what people want to see, so you can stop taking shots in the dark and make content that you know is gonna do decently with your audience. One thing to keep in mind is that when your channel is brand new, your channel has very little authority, so chances are, even if you make a video about a topic, it's not gonna rank very high in the search. So one thing I did when I was starting off is try to niche everything down. For example, my very first video was a video about GoPros. Now, if I were to make a video that said GoPro, I would have probably been on page 45, like deep in the search, like no one would have ever found it. So instead of making a video about GoPros, I made something a little bit more specific, which was the waterproof capabilities of the GoPro Hero 5. Now, as your channel grows and gets more authority on the platform and algorithm, then you can start putting more broad and general terms, and you can still expect to rank decently high. But when you're first starting, just stay very specific and something that just doesn't have that many other videos on. I would really like to start a channel based on filming, but I fear that I won't have the right shots and ideas to carry it on. How do you find motivation, inspiration, and what software do you recommend for starting out on editing? To get your channel started, like I said earlier, just give yourself a deadline and just do it. It's not going to be a perfect idea, but just get the ball rolling. And you really don't need to plan ahead. Like, I don't really know what I'm going to be posting next week. I just kind of go with the flow. A lot of times commenters come up with ideas. Some days I'll just be like, I'm going to try to vlog today, and then if something interesting happens, then I turn that into a video. So instead of having a game plan from the very start, I think it's good to be flexible, and as you see what people like to see, you can kind of build on that and kind of. As far as editing software, I'd say whatever one you have. I use Adobe Premiere, but only because it's what I'm most familiar with. I know people use Final Cut X, iMovie, and like I said, you don't need fancy titles or special effects or anything like that. Like, if you can make a good tight edit, that is all you really need for YouTube. Another thing I noticed is that if you make a video that did really well, then YouTube loves it when you make a slight variation of it, like almost like a part 2 or episode 2, something similar but slightly different. Now, those those videos may not be the most creatively satisfying videos to make, but YouTube will reward you with some love in the algorithm. And those are nice because those are probably the most predictable in terms of getting a decent amount of views. What do you do when you don't want to film or having a creative block? Next time you're doing something random like laundry or walking your dog and you come up with an idea, even if it's stupid or if it's whatever, write it down immediately. Do not wait, because a lot of times you'll be like, oh, I'll remember this later, and then you totally overestimate how good your memory is. So whenever I don't have an idea, I'll pull up this notepad and I'll just be like, oh my god, I can't believe I had all these ideas that I totally forgot about. So definitely do that. What do you do when you don't want to film? Well, you just have to sometimes force yourself to do it. You have to turn off your internet, turn off the TV, just block out a time frame where you're like, I'm gonna make this video, and just do it. I mean, right now there's like 8 other things that I would rather be doing. Like I could be eating pastor tacos on the beach. I could be eating asada tacos on the beach, fish tacos, lengua tacos. You guys get the point. Did you use any paid form of advertising, or was your growth entirely organic? When I first started, I did try putting a few dollars into a campaign to see if it'll help. I don't think it did anything. As a matter of fact, I think it hurt it, because it actually lowers the audience retention, and then that makes YouTube go like, oh, this video is trash. Let's not show this to anybody. People don't like to stick around and watch a video that they're forced to watch. How much money do you make from YouTube? It really depends on what category your video falls under, but general rule of thumb is about $1 per 1,000 views, which is very close to what I make. So if you want to estimate how broke I am, you can look below at how many views this video has, and if it has like 3,000 views, then I made about $3 off this video. Yeah. So yeah, you really shouldn't do it for the money. I do it for the sponsors and all the free stuff they send me. I'm just kidding. I do it because of my passion and love for making these videos. At least I think that's what I'm supposed to say. I'm trying to build a YouTube channel and recently did Vlogmas. I want to go into filmmaking videos this upcoming year, as well as some tech reviews. What are some of the best ways to try and get my videos out there? I'm sharing on all social media, snippets on Facebook and Instagram. What do you think? First of all, posting your videos on Facebook usually doesn't really help, because YouTube and Facebook are competitors, which means every time you put a YouTube link into a Facebook post, they try to block it and they limit the amount of reach it has. I would say find a few subreddits that perfectly line up with what type of content you're making and share it on there. But only post there if you truly believe that group of people would have a genuine interest in your video. If you start spamming it everywhere, a lot of people are going to come to your video, watch it for a few seconds, be like, what the hell is this? Leave. That's going to lower your audience retention and cause more harm than it does good. I think it's awesome that you're going to be making filmmaking videos and tech reviews, but as far as vlogs go, my good friend Chris Rollins made a video about why you shouldn't vlog until you're famous. I'm going to link it in the description. My vlogs get the least amount of views out of all my videos. So until you get bigger and your viewers know who you are, I think it helps to give an extra reason for why people should come watch your video. For example, when I went to Iceland and Cuba, I vlogged the whole trip. But if I were to post those videos as just Iceland vlog or Cuba vlog, it probably would not have gotten that many views. So because of that, I changed it up a little bit and I made a video about how much this Iceland cost, how much this Cuba cost, and it's half vlog, half informative. And those are my first videos that I think really took off and started the growth of the channel. From 12 to 20,000 subscribers is a substantial jump. Did you have a viral video, or was it a progressive thing? So yeah, I have one video that got 1 million views, which is way more than I would have ever expected. So that's why I consider myself really lucky, because that's something that I didn't really have much control over. I felt like I just uploaded a video that did decent. It got a few hundred views, I think, for the first couple days. And then one day, like a week later, I checked my analytics and I was like, this can't be right. This isn't my account, is it? And then, yeah, it just went crazy. And what contributed to the explosion was that it got posted on Reddit and exploded on Reddit, and it ended up on like a dozen other websites and just grew like wildfire. Do you ever randomly get recognized in public? For me, it's happened 3 times so far. First time it happened, I was, I think, around 700,000 views at like 9,000 subscribers. And it seems to happen every time I get another 700,000 views or so. But I'm still a pretty small sample size. Maybe some of you other YouTubers can let me know how often you guys get recognized and at what size you guys got recognized at. The tags, how are you using them? Never know if I'm doing them right. Give me an example. Many thanks. For me, the tags was something that I used to pay attention a lot to. I would spend a lot of time literally trying to come up with tags that associate with other videos that are popular. Honestly, now I feel like they don't really matter. I've never really seen a big return from having the right tags as far as I can tell. Like I mentioned, the only thing I pay attention to is the audience retention, and everything else is just kind of like on the side for me. What separates the good and bad in terms of growth channels other than originality and dedication? editing. Thinking about buying a Canon G7X Mark II because most of my videos are shot in low light areas and I like how small the camera is. Any recommendations? And most importantly, I'm thinking of buying it through Amazon with extended warranty. Have you ever used this warranty? It's cheap, real cheap, too good to be true. Yes, I am a huge fan of the G7X Mark II. I made a whole video on this, comparing this to the 80D, and I was really impressed with this guy. If your budget's around $600 for a camera setup, I would say this is probably a really good route to go. Now, for those of you that have seen my video with this versus the 80D, you guys know that I have used the Amazon warranty before, so that is definitely how I recommend buying this camera. I highly suggest buying the international version off of Amazon, and the reason why is because it doesn't come with a warranty, but it's way cheaper. So get that version and then get Amazon's 3 or 4 year accident protection. That protection is way better than Canon's original factory warranty. So get that, and these things are not hard to break, so you might utilize it. And this way, even with the Amazon warranty, it's still cheaper than buying the US version with Canon's warranty. So I'll put a video to that review in the description, as well as an Amazon link on how to buy the international one below. Keep in mind that since camera technology moves so fast, in about 6.5 days, this is probably going to be an outdated model. So make sure you subscribe so you stay up to date with the latest gear. By the way, what I just did right there was ask for subscribers and likes. Does it help? Should you do it in your videos? I don't really think it makes a huge difference. I've never really noticed anything significant, which is why I usually don't do it. But you know what? If you like this video, make sure you subscribe, because in 2018, I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. If you don't subscribe, you're a loser and you will have bad luck for 85 years. That made me a lot dizzier than it should have. I guess we'll see if that worked or not. We'll see. But anyways, Happy New Year. Let's end this year with a bang, shall we? Please don't do this at home. This is very much not a safe activity. Man, this anticipation is kind of killing me. Oh my God! That was not supposed to happen like that. But that was insane. I've never seen one go off like that. Okay, that's not good. I have to open this fire alarm. That was insane. It's usually supposed to just go poof and then go away. That was the craziest one I've ever seen in my life. Perfect example of why you should never ever do that. Yeah. Thanks again for the awesome 2017. Okay.